So we bought ourselves a little camper van, which is absolutely brilliant, we love it. It is 40 years old and it was extremely cheap, but we've been on holiday with it, myself, my wife and our daughter, and it was absolutely brilliant. We absolutely love it. It's really similar to sailing. I've been sailing for years, and it's a similar lifestyle on land instead of at sea. So basically the problem is, you can't see anything. When you're in this, reversing it, you can't really see what you're doing. So I have bought a reversing mirror type thingy-majig with a camera, which I'll be fitting to this today, and we're going to go through that together. Here's the kit. I'll leave a link to this in the description, which will be an affiliate link, because that's how YouTubers get paid, by putting links to things like this and getting a little tiddly little commission from Amazon. So if you buy through that, that'd be ace. If not, no worries at all. So what we've got is a display with a mirror, and it's like a magic mirror, and this will be really very cool when we turn it on. You'll see that in a little while. So this goes onto your rear view mirror, and then it's obviously got cables which get connected to this, which are then led to the back part of the camper, and then I'll be installing a little camera, which is, it's got a forward facing camera too, so you get two cameras, one facing forward and one facing backwards. Power supply, cable, USB, and there we have the rear facing camera, which is going to be installed at the back of the camper van. I'm hoping the cable is going to be long enough. If it's not, then I shall extend it. This product is made in China, and just be aware of this. When you receive these kind of things, inside there they have a little bribe for you. There you go. How do you receive a free gift? You receive a free SD card if you go on Amazon and give them a 5-star review. So bear that in mind, that when you go on Amazon and see all those 5-star reviews for things, some of the people who've left those reviews might have done that and then received a free gift. Now, whether they're being completely honest in their descriptions, in their reviews or not, is another matter. I cannot comment on that, but what I will say is just be aware of this, because a lot of manufacturers do this. I'm not saying that reviews aren't useful, because they are still, and I do read the reviews. I read the reviews of this before I decided to buy this model. But yeah, it is just useful to bear in mind the fact that some people get bribed to leave 5-star reviews. So, you know, you should read the 5-star reviews, you should read the 4 and 3-star reviews, read the 1-star reviews, and then if you do that with each product you're thinking of buying, you'll probably have a better idea than somebody who just looks at it and says, oh, it's got 4.5 stars, 5 stars, nice one, I'll buy that one. Plugged in there, I've plugged in the rear camera, and I'm just testing this out before I start installing things. Ooh. Okay, so that's working. Doesn't have an SD card in there at the moment. It's giving me an error message for that. And the rear camera is also working, but it appears to be defective. Oh no, yeah, no, I am very ugly. Yeah, that's working, great. Okay, let's start getting it fitted. So what I can do now, this gives me great pleasure. Some people like to leave the plastic on things forever. You know, they might keep the plastic on there for 4 years to try and just keep it as brand new as possible. I am the absolute opposite. I remove all the plastic immediately. It gives me great pleasure. My wife, for example, is a plastic keeper, and I am a plastic remover. But there we are all individuals, and the world is beautiful because we're all different. So fitting this unit onto your rear view mirror is a piece of cake. You just basically get these little rubber band things and you hook them on there, you bring them around the back and you hook them on there. Voila! I'm just running the cables here down to kind of hide them in amongst the trim. I found the easiest way to do that is just to open this out with a little open-ended spanner and then push in these with a screwdriver. Kind of something like push them behind and push that down, you know, you get the point. It makes it a bit easier than doing it with your fingers. Running the cable's been a little bit laborious. I've taken it around here, and then the best route that I found was to take it down here, under there, and then I've brought it through the bulkhead here. I'm making a video on her. That's my daughter, she's 3. So I brought the cables out through here with some heat shrink on it just to protect it going through the hole, because I had to remove the grommet. And then I've led it underneath the bottom of the camper van to here. Now I don't actually have enough length to take this to the back where the camera is. There's not quite enough length in the camera, so I am unfortunately going to have to just snip this cable here. And I just happen to have in my garage, because I'm very lucky, a 5-core cable. This is from some kind of navigation equipment from a boat from many years ago, and it's just lying about in my garage, so I can splice this in there and that will extend the cable to the back of the camper van. Okay, it's actually a 3-core cable plus a shield, so I've got extra conductors in here, but that's okay. I can just use the ones that I need and not use the ones that I don't need. Okay, so I've got to do some soldering here. I've got a soldering iron, but I don't have 240 volts here, so I'm going to use a butane torch to heat the soldering iron and then solder with that. Without setting the camper on fire.
No.
Well, an open flame and a 3-year-old girl makes things a little bit more complicated than it would normally otherwise be, so I just went for crimps instead. Not particularly very pretty, but I'm going to take that up and then I'm going to put some heat shrink on there and make sure it's all nice and watertight. I will test it first before I do that. I'll test the camera just to make sure it's working before I put everything to bed. I've tested the cable with the 2 splices in it and that's all working perfectly. So I'm now ready to fit the rear facing camera in its kind of permanent position. So all I'm doing is I've got some kind of Sikaflex type stuff, adhesive sealant there, and there's actually a really convenient place that I can wedge this. There's a tiny little gap in between the 2 welded sections, and it's like an interference fit. I can squeeze it in there, the bracket, and it kind of stays there even without any sealant. It stays fixed in position, and that's kind of the perfect spot for this. So I'm just going to put it in position with that sealant holding it too, and that should be me hunky-dory. And then I'm going to run the cable on the underside of the camper van, of course, up above the axles and everything else, up out of the way. So you may be able to see what I mean there about the gap in that welded section. It's extremely convenient, pure luck. I've got all the cables tied up there in position, and the camera, just while that sealant dries, I had a set square on here just to line up the bottom of the camera to make sure it's kind of in line with the structural member, which it is, and I've got that taped in position just until that sealant dries. This is what the reversing camera looks like on the full screen. You've got the option to switch to forward screen with a little mini view of the rear screen in the top right hand corner. You can flip those 2 around, or you can have a half and half split screen, or you can have just your forward facing camera. This is recording onto an SD card now, and you can set up the different kind of settings for that. It can record on a loop, different lengths depending on what you want. So this should be very, very helpful. Reversing this camper van was a bit of a pain, especially when you're on your own, you've got no one to go out and spot for you. But now I've got this camera to show me what's going on back there, it will be much easier. We don't intend to ever have an accident in this thing, of course, but if you do, you've got a camera there to kind of show your side of the story. So I'm happy with this. I think it was a good investment. It's been easy to fit, a couple of hours work, 3 maybe. And yeah, so if you're interested, check out the link in the description of this video. I'll link to a kit like this on Amazon. And yeah, if you're going to fit one of these, enjoy and happy camping. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy it, hit the thumbs down button twice. If you want to see more videos about this van, what we do with it, I'm going to be fitting a solar powered kind of hot water system at some point, so I'll probably make a video about that. Or if you want other helpful videos on random subjects from me, then click on the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, until then, don't forget, love life.